Tanya Price is a remarkable individual with a vibrant and adventurous spirit. In her youth, she proudly represented South Africa in softball at the World Championships in Japan in 1995. Later, she relocated to London for 6 years and continued her softball journey playing for Great Britain in the Olympic Test event in Athens in 2004, where she achieved the incredible feat of winning a gold medal. Not one to shy away from physical challenges, Tanya also conquered the London Marathon, using her participation to support the charitable cause of sports aid. Along the way, she explored over 25 different cities across the globe, soaking in diverse cultures and experiences while playing and coaching sports and starting a youth program in the UK. Her outstanding achievements in the world of softball have earned her a well-deserved place in the UK Softball Hall of Fame. Tanya's accomplishments extend beyond sport, as she has also been recognized for her entrepreneurial prowess. In 2017, she was honored with the Businesswoman of the Year award in the Social Enterprise category. This recognition speaks to her dedication and success in using her business ventures to make a positive impact on society. Additionally, she was nominated for the prestigious KZN Standard Bank Businesswoman of the Year award in 2019, a testament to her continued excellence in the business world. In 2019, Tanya embarked on a new venture, establishing her own training business, which has experienced remarkable growth. With each passing year, her turnover has doubled, but the greatest joy in Tanya's life comes from her role as a mother. She deeply loves her two daughters, one of whom is a talented and sporty 17-year-old, while the other is a special needs child who holds a special place in her heart. Last year, Tanya took on her most daring challenge yet, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. On August 30th, she stood triumphantly at the summit, a testament to her determination and unwavering spirit. Tanya's story is one of resilience, passion, and a commitment to excellence in all areas of her life. Her journey is an inspiration to us all, reminding us that with hard work and determination, anything is possible. I'm Sanchia Vandayar, and this is Zero Podcast. In this episode, I get to ask Tanya a few questions. I hope you enjoy. Hi, Tanya. Why entrepreneurship, and how has your experience as an athlete influenced your approach to entrepreneurship?
It has heavily impacted my journey as an entrepreneur. Being an athlete at a very high level, or even just at an average level, means that you have to get up on days that you don't want to get up to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. I think the saying goes very true. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And when you achieve goals that are really hard, it becomes a moment that you're so proud of. And as an athlete, we don't often really want to go out running, or we don't often want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or even 5 o'clock in the morning to do the exercise or join your team, because it's hard work. And hard work takes a lot of willpower and a lot of self-discipline. A lot of people think that self-discipline is a switch, but it's actually not. You can't switch it on, you can't switch it off. It develops from good habits, and exercise creates good habits. So you decide that you're going to exercise on these days, and you get up and you do it. And eventually, what happens with exercise is that it becomes a habit, so much so that when you don't do it, something is missing in your life. And it teaches you that the habit then forms self-motivation, and that motivation turns into self-discipline. And you learn that that is where self-discipline comes from. That translates to entrepreneurship. Because you've experienced it, it's like a filing reference. It's a reference of an experience that you've experienced, and you can fall back on it. So in entrepreneurship, when you don't feel like working and you don't feel like doing something, but you know that it's going to impact you positively, because that's what hard work does, it impacts you positively. So you actually lean on that experience and you depend on it, but you trust the process, because even though it becomes hard, you know that once you've put the hard work in, you're going to reap the benefits. So that is how it has really affected my journey as an entrepreneur, moving from an athlete to an entrepreneur.
Is there a challenge you faced as an athlete that taught you a valuable lesson applicable to entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. As an athlete, you learn to lose and you learn to win. And as you begin to mature in exercise or playing together in a team sports, it doesn't matter what level you're playing at. Your maturity allows you to learn to lose better, to lose in a graceful way, and to win in a graceful way. And entrepreneurship almost aligns itself in a very similar way, because when you are out selling your business or your services or products, you don't get every deal. You get rejected, just like you lose a game. And you have to learn to deal with that loss. And it's the way that you conduct yourself in that loss, in the way that you bounce back from that loss. And I think as an athlete, you learn to become very resilient, because your losses are very close to your victories. And in entrepreneurship, the journey, especially if you've been in entrepreneurship for a really long time, the journey of the amount of losses versus the victories start to they start to equal and add up. And you have to be very resilient. And being an athlete teaches you to be resilient, because if you don't bounce back, you're never going to win anything. And then why are you doing it in the first place? Yes, some people just, exercise for fun and for whatever personal reasons. But for me as an athlete, playing at that level, I play to win, and it was a passion. And winning is what motivated me. It was my goal, just like you do when you own a business. There is a goal, it motivates you. It gets you up in the morning. What you do is what you love to do. How you do is what you become creative at. And where you're going is what drives you. And it's generally the end result of the goal of where you're going that really motivates you. But I think, to summarize it, the athlete and the entrepreneurship journey is definitely about the losses and the wins, and how to do it gracefully in both ways, and how to bounce back. It most certainly teaches you resilience.
As a single parent, how do you manage your time effectively to ensure both your business and family receive the attention they need?
This is a question I think many parents, whether they're single or not, really struggle to manage. Managing work life and parenting, single or with a partner, is really a challenge. I think for me, I strive for balance, and I strive for balance not only as a parent but within myself, because I know that if I don't give to myself, I'm really going to be a disaster of a parent. And I'm not going to give the love and attention that I need to my family, in this case my two daughters, what they need, because I'm so empty. And I've been empty for so many times that I've learned this lesson over and over again. And as I've got older, I've realized that I do more damage to everyone else around me, including myself, if I don't give to myself. It's almost the scenario, the analogy of the aeroplane and the oxygen mask. Put it on first before you help others. It's repeated over and over again, but it is just so true. Now, it doesn't mean that I do spa days on end all the time. Absolutely not. There are days and weeks that go by where I'm absolutely exhausted and we kind of just the hamster on the wheel. There are those times in life. We have to get through those weeks. But we also know that if you are really managing your energy and your time, and you are in control of it rather than it being in control of you in the greater scheme of things, then you know you're going to catch up and you know you're going to be okay. So, how do I do that? Planning, being very, very organized. Small things. I prepare my clothes the night before so I have one less decision to make the next day. My calendar is written down to an absolute T, and it means that if I think I'm going to remember something because it's so minuscule, I don't take it for granted that I'm going to, because I've got a million things going on in my business, my external life, my friends, my family, my children, their activities. And so to balance that, it's really important to be prepared. If I'm not prepared, I just cause anxiety in myself, and I'm just running around with no, how can I say, there's no point, there's no aim, and there's no quality. There's no quality to anything that I do. And so I have to be very organized. And it does take time to be organized, but it eliminates a lot of stress and anxiety in my life, and it's worth it. Being that organized is worth it. I can tell you that I do drop the ball. I can tell you that there are days that I just don't want to plan anything, and that's okay. It's okay. I've learned to be kind to myself and say, today I'm not going to do anything. But when you are organized and you are in control of it, most of the time you can do that. And so in that way, I can be a better parent. If I give to myself, I can give to others.
How do you stay innovative in your business ventures?
My business is almost 5 years old, and it's such a great question because my business is undergoing changes actually this year. And even though my purpose hasn't changed, because my business is about people and to grow people, because I'm passionate about growing people, I'm passionate about growing myself. I'm just one of those people that's a lifelong learning human being, to such an extent that a couple of years ago I had to say to myself, you know what, you don't have to read so many books about self-development. You don't need to attend any networking meeting, because I had got to that point where I was doing it for all the wrong reasons. Those reasons being, I'm going down that road because I don't believe in myself enough, and I'm looking outside of myself for more because I lack. And I realized that until I can actually read more to learn rather than because I feel I lack, or go to network events because I want to really connect and learn rather than I lack, I waited until I'd worked more on myself and grew. And because I'm growing, so is my business. And therefore, those ventures start to increase. And because I'm open to growing, you start to attract new ventures, sometimes by default, and then sometimes through purpose, an intentional approach. So I'm actually going through rebranding, and even though it's in the people game, I've just kind of decided that my message needs to be clearer, and I want it to be clearer. I don't want people to have to ask, what is your business about? I want it to be so clear that people don't have to ask. And I think in your business ventures, for me personally, if people don't have to ask about what you're doing, then your message is clear. And so I'm open to new things. And I think that's also a message, or a lesson, should I say, that I've learned, or discovery that I've actually made, is that if you're open to new things, you discover new things, and then you almost go down a road that allows you to find out more about yourself. And it's, I know I'm sounding like I'm struggling to explain and articulate it, but it's just such a beautiful road to go down, because a lot of people get stuck in their ways. And when they're stuck in their ways, they can't be innovative. When they don't accept other people's viewpoint, or they don't accept creativity in their workplace, because this is how we've done it and this is how we're going to continue to do it, it restricts you. So by restricting other people, you're restricting yourself. And so I love it when people take a process that's been done and somebody says, okay, this is how we've been doing it. We're all going to do it, but we're going to do it however which way you want to. And then we come back to the table. I'm just so excited to hear about which way they've done it, because you just open yourself to new things. And I believe that's how we can all become innovative in our business.
Have you had any mentors or role models in sports or business that influenced your entrepreneurship journey?
OMG. Without role models and mentors, I don't think I would be where I am today, 100%. I also really have to say that I have an extremely strong faith, which has only grown, in the last few years. And without God, without a doubt, I would not be where I am today either. And I also believe that He's placed these mentors and role models in my life because I needed it. And I knew, and He knew, that this was what was needed for me to become who I am. So I've had plenty. I've been absolutely and utterly blessed with the most amazing tribe. And I'm constantly blessed with the most amazing people. So yes, there are people along the way that I've had to let go. We've all had it. It's not common. It's not uncommon, should I say. And we all cannot be attached to that process when you have to let go, or somebody lets go of you. You have to trust that process. So a lot of us feel that we're rejected, but we're actually not. It's just a process that's going to take us to where we need to be. So going back to your question, sorry, I'm digressing, but my role models in my sports specifically have been encouraging and motivating. So they've believed in me, and they've given me tasks to do or challenges that have been big enough for me to be able to accomplish. And they've pushed me hard enough because they've known that I've had the potential. When somebody believes in you, whether it's the sports field or the workplace, or even you as a parent in your child, you untap a remarkable sense of self-esteem and confidence. And when you feel that way, you start to believe in yourself and capabilities that don't even exist. So you continue to push the boundary within yourself and outside of yourself, because there's somebody that's got your back. And if you have a tribe like that, when you fall, they're there to pick you up. I won't say necessarily pick you up, because I don't believe in rescuing people, but they're there to support you. They're there to walk with you in rainy days and when the sun shines. And it's those people that will get you through everything. And I also believe that when you have a really strong tribe, role models, mentors, it helps you to bounce back in life. And that also increases your skill in resilience. So a lot of people think that resilience is something by nature. It's actually a skill you learn, and the people that you surround yourself with will help you with that, because they become your support structure, and it pushes you to bounce back from setbacks, whether it's an athlete or very much in a business. because business is full of setbacks. You'll go through seasons where it's amazing, and then you'll go through times when you really have to buckle down and things are not great. We all experienced that during COVID, and we all had to bounce back in some way or another. And so that's very important to realize that. So if you're a mentor, or you're a leader, you can actually help somebody increase their resilient skills. And if you're out there as an entrepreneur and you don't have any role models or mentors, you can actually seek them out. You can go and find a business coach. If you don't click with one, it doesn't mean that all business coaches out there are terrible. Not that that person may be terrible, but you have to have a connection. And that person can't be such a great buddy that they won't make you accountable. It's very important that they connect with you in a way that you do feel accountable to being better and pushing you out of your comfort zone. That's a good mentor. That's a good role model. They will push you out of your comfort zone because they know you can do better. And then they believe in you. And when they believe in you, you have enough I can moments, and that increases your confidence, and that builds your entrepreneurship journey.
Do you have any advice for young athletes aspiring to become entrepreneurs?
I do. I think the most important factor, or one of the most important factors, is that you must do what you're doing because you want to do it. If you're doing what you're doing because someone else wants you to do it, there is no long-term sustainability in it. There's an expiry date to it, and it's not going to last. Yes, you're going to learn a lot along the way, but you're not going to enjoy the process. So a lot of us choose goals that we want to achieve for the sake of an accolade, perhaps, stroking our ego, getting an award, making somebody else proud. It's very important, now that I'm older, that whatever journey you choose as an athlete or an entrepreneur, that the goal that you choose has to be a journey that you're going to want to do for yourself. Because if you do it for yourself, it's going to be easier to get up when you fall. It's going to be easier to get up when you don't want to get up. And there's going to be an internal drive inside of you because you want it. And when you're proud of yourself at the end for achieving that goal, that feeling that you're going to get of achievement, of self-satisfaction, is going to increase your self-worth. But if your value of your worth lies externally, meaning that you're doing it to make somebody else happy, you're never going to increase your own self-worth. You're always going to be dependent on external factors, and that's never going to be, as I said, sustainable. There's not going to be any increased value in it, whether you're trying to build a great business or you're trying to be the best athlete that you can be. So that's my advice to anyone that wants to be a great athlete or a successful entrepreneur. Choose the goal based on the journey that you want to travel. That journey has to be something you deeply want, and even though you're going to learn lessons, those failures are going to be lessons that you're going to welcome, and there are going to be setbacks that's going to build you and not break you.
What are some of your aspirations for your businesses in the coming years?
Well, I'm just looking at this year, first and foremostly, because I'm definitely in a year of change. The last 2-3 years, I have gone through many changes. I have stepped out of my comfort zone in many ways, and I want to take all those learnings and the lessons, as well as my journey over the last, I'd say, 12 years, and I want to share it. That's the first thing, because I would like to inspire and help other people wherever I can, even if it's just one person. I think my love language is acts of service, and if that's the way I can do it, then that's the way I'm going to do it. That does mean in the next few weeks I'll be launching a new brand, and I'm so excited to share it. I'm nervous, but it's a good nervous. I think I've grown to the point where I don't fear rejection anymore. And what a wonderful, liberating place to be, because if I measured this based on likes, or if I measured it based on what other people were going to think, then I would be fearful, and fear would paralyze me, which it has. It's paralyzed me for many years to do what I potentially deeply, passionately wanted to do, even though I've been very fortunate in my business and also in my previous jobs to work with people, which I absolutely do love. But you can travel that in different aspects and different avenues. So for me, this year it's definitely to step out into a place where I can walk in my truth. I can walk into a place which goes, I'm doing this because I want to, irrespective of any external validation. I'm doing it because this is how I want to serve. And I'm going to stay true to that. And I'm just enjoying it. So when you enjoy something and you place so many hours working hard at it, it doesn't seem so hard. Yes, you get tired, but it doesn't seem like work. So I'm not really working. I'm just following what my heart says, and I'm trusting the universe. So it sounds so cliche, and especially when you've been super ambitious, super goal-driven, and exceptionally organized and plan-orientated, it's quite a revelation to kind of go with it. And when I say go with it, I'm not just sitting in my armchair or my office chair and going, oh, you know what, world, just bring it on. I'm just going to go with the flow. No, it doesn't work like that. I still have a strategy. I still have a plan. I still have a tribe of people that help me to strategize. And it's all based on what I can give back, what I've learned, and what I want to do. So those are my aspirations for this year. And I'm excited. And when I launch my new little business venture, which is aligned with what I do, I'll be sure to share it. So thank you.
How did you get involved in your industry, which is training people?
9 years ago, my daughter was born with a paper-thin corpus callosum, which is a sac between the left and the right side of the brain, which means, unfortunately, she is disabled. So she can't walk at this point in time. She can't crawl, she can't chew, she can't talk. And so my interest started in kind of learning more about the brain. I'm a non-academic, and this led me to, in my current job at the time, I just started. I had met a lady that was teaching an occupational intelligence methodology, and that methodology is to teach people how to create neurological new pathways, because the brain is a muscle. You can train it, you can work it. It's like clay, you can remold it. And so while I was interested in it to potentially help my daughter, who was only a few months old, I had become super interested in it in my field at the time, which was part of a non-profit organization which was helping people build their own businesses out of communities. And the interesting thing is that my learnings from that helped me with human behavior in that setting of training people. And so after working for this nonprofit for 5 years, I decided to go on my own, because that amazing transformation in those people, I wanted to share the magic outside of that building. And even though I couldn't help my daughter, it led me to helping other people in understanding how the human behaves by the means of our brain, and how we can change by, training our muscle, which is the brain, and evolving and growing. And my learning of it has helped me grow and has helped me evolve. And so because I am, a walking experiment of it as well, I believe in it. And because I've been around hundreds, if not over 1,000 people, where we've seen transformation and change, that is how I came about training people, and in a holistic way. So the training is just a tool that we use to be able to help shift people, and just seeing people discover their true potential, or just discover even confidence. It just takes them to a place that they've never been to. And for me, that is just the most rewarding, most absolute rewarding gift I could be given, in addition to my daughter.
Thanks, Tanya, and thanks to all listening.